You guys know I'm not normally a big Supreme Court drama guy, but today might be a bit of an exception. Things have just gotten a little bit warm down on 1st Street Northeast. So let's talk about what's happening right now with the stay that was issued yesterday and whether or not it's being followed or ignored or not at all. I'm Brian, I make videos about civics and law. We are back on immigration stuff. Comment, has the change in immigration policy affected you personally? Have you noticed a change in your community? And what do you think about what's happening? Please comment, like, repost. This is a civics video. It's not gonna get out there unless you interact with it, but remember, please be kind. Okay, let me catch you up on what's going on. First, I'm gonna run you through the law as fast as I can. The big question involved here is where a person is sent when they are deported. And that question is answered in 8 U.S.C. 1231b. The general theory is that they're supposed to have some sort of a meaningful connection with the place that they are sent. We're not supposed to send them just somewhere random. Okay, here's the flowchart. First, were they arrested while they were entering this country? If yes, we send them back where they came in from. If no, they get to choose where they get sent back to as a first option. If that country won't accept them for whatever reason, then we go through this next set of options. Any one of these three is acceptable. Their country of citizenship, nationality, or where they are subject, the country where they were born, or their country of residence. Now, if all three of these are impracticable, inadvisable, or impossible, then we move on to the fourth one, which is essentially any country that will accept them, but with one big caveat. The United States has signed on to a treaty that says we will not send anyone to a country where they might be tortured or killed. We've also codified that concept into our law in a couple of places. So generally, we can send them anywhere that will accept them, provided that they won't be tortured or killed there. Now, in the cases at hand, it's not that the administration did not take this into account. The question is whether enough due process was given to ensure that they took this into account. The method that the DHS guidance was using to make sure that they weren't going to be tortured or killed is asking the country where they were going to be sent. Hey, South Sudan, are you going to torture or murder any of these people? No? Okay, good enough. And that's how the administration was checking this checkbox. The people who were being deported were not being given a chance to go into court and explain, hey, there's a bunch of murderers in that country who have sworn they were going to murder me if I ever set foot there again, or anything like that. They were not given any kind of a hearing. They were just told, you're going there, and that was that. Okay, that's a way oversimplification, but you get the idea. All right, district courts around the country have issued a number of temporary restraining orders and preliminary injunctions that stop the executive branch from either deporting people, not giving people enough due process, whatever. A variety of different preliminary injunctions and TROs have been issued. The one that we're talking about here was issued by a judge in Massachusetts, and it was a class action of a number of plaintiffs collectively fighting the government's actions. Now, the government appealed that district court order to the First Circuit Court of Appeals based on both the class certification and on other matters related to the injunction itself. That request for a stay was not granted, so the government appealed again to the Supreme Court. That stay was granted, but the Supreme Court did not tell us why they granted it. Did they grant it based on the class certification? Did they grant it based on the other reasons? We don't know. They gave us zero information. All we have is a dissent, where the dissenters told us why they wouldn't have granted the stay, but they didn't tell us why the majority did grant the stay. So we have no idea. And this was the problem that I had trying to make this video, because I don't really know why they did it, and I wasn't entirely sure. I couldn't quite figure it out. So the best I was able to come up with was to explain to you guys what was going on and say I didn't know. But then something else crazy happened. The majority didn't give us a lot of text on why they granted the stay, but they did give us just a little bit. And there's something really important in here that I overlooked the first 8 times I read it, which is this line. The April 18th, 2025 preliminary injunction of the U.S. District Court for Massachusetts is stayed pending the disposition of the appeal, yada, yada, yada. Okay, well, that's sort of what we'd expect it to say, right? Except there's something that I missed, which is hidden in the government's appeal brief, because not only did the district court issue an opinion, the district court issued 2 opinions. One on April 18th and one on May 21st. And according to the district court judge, the one on May 21st still stands. Now, I don't know what his argument is, but Justice Sotomayor so far seems to agree. And when the Supreme Court wrote this, they knew there was a second order on May 21st, and they did not mention it. And that's not the kind of mistake that the Supreme Court usually makes. So, was it intentional? Did they mean to leave the second one standing while they stayed the first one? So far, that is unclear. We are going to have to see how this plays out. But once again, we're kind of left standing here waiting for the cliffhanger to resolve itself. And the Trump administration is furious. but I guess that's to be expected. Anyway, I will keep you guys updated as we learn more. Again, I have to thank whoever went to my Amazon wishlist and sent me colored paper, because obviously I really needed it. I'm going through paper like there's no tomorrow right now. I'm old school, I can't read on a screen, so it's all about the paper. If you'd like to help support the work I'm doing, please check out my link tree. It's in my profile. I got a Venmo there, other ways you can support me. I really appreciate the help. All right, everybody, please interact with this video and get it out there, and as usual, thanks for watching.